LV, man, what's going on?
Yo, what's going on, fellas? How you guys doing tonight, man?
Good. How are you? All right, we got
Good. How are
everyone.
you?
We good.
All right, so we've been obviously talking about this Knicks and Cavs series. We've been talking about what if the Knicks were to win this series, they would have to do blank. I can ask you this question: if the Knicks were to win this series, what do you think they have to do in order to secure a series win versus Cleveland?
Just play with confidence. Play like you been playing, right? You got to kind of have the mindset of this is just like any other game, right? The great Derek Jeter said what made the World Series easy for him is because he felt like it was game one of regular season.
Yeah,
So you have to approach it that way. You can't change how you're doing things. I know I've heard people say, should Thibodeau change the 9-man rotation? No, you continue to do things as such. You do not change the rhythm of anything. And if you do that, I mean, the sample size is there, guys. We've been in 3 out of 4. What's the difference? There is no difference.
it's the regular season though, man.
Not yes and no, though, man,
Yeah,
because once again, like I said, if you have the mindset like it's game one,
yeah,
right? I mean, not game one, excuse me, beginning of the regular season,
yeah.
it all comes from just pretty much inside you. So now, once again, right, if certain players, if they're unable to deal with the pressure, now you see a different player, right? But if they have the mindset, like a perfect example, you heard what Quickly said the other day when they was asking questions. He said, "I can't wait, man." He said, "This is what you played for. This is what you want." So I'm excited. So he's chomping at the bit. So a guy like him, you put the ball in his hands, his palms aren't going to be sweaty,
Nope.
right? So that's
IQ
what
is
I do.
ready. IQ is ready.
Right. There you go. A guy like Jalen Brunson, right? His palms aren't sweaty.
No.
So he's ready to go. So those guys, they're not going to really feel any pressure. They're just going to play ball. And if you do that, then to me, I think this is easy work. But
Easy
that's
work.
where the other that yeah, but that's when the other part comes into it, right?
Yeah.
Poise,
Hmm.
mindset, mental stability. How do you handle pressure? Are you thinking about the fact that it's the playoffs and it's not a regular season game, right? The really, really good players, it doesn't matter where they play. They play the same whether they're at Rucker or they're in the finals. They play the same.
Yeah.
Their game doesn't change. So that's what, for me, I want to see, right?
Yeah, well put. And obviously we've been talking about Julius Randle. Obviously he hasn't been, doing some practice here and there this week. Hasn't been doing contact at all. We've been talking about Isaac Okoro's looking like he's trending in the right direction for Cleveland. He's been out for them. So it's looking like he's trending in the right direction. And we've been just talking about matchups. He's probably going to be a matchup with Brunson. They're probably going to throw Okoro at him. They're probably going to trap him a lot. So that gives RJ Barrett, that gives, Grimes a matchup here that they should take advantage of. And we've been saying that I think RJ Barrett needs to show us something this series, man. RJ Barrett hasn't, obviously he's been struggling with his shot here. This past month he's been shooting in the 20s from behind the arc. So what do you think RJ Barrett has to do in order to, play good, man? He has to show us something, right?
Agreed, but you don't want him to play out of himself, right? You don't want him to try to do anything extra. The thing with RJ is that he's been pretty consistent with being him this year, right? He's been up
Yeah.
and down. He's been a roller coaster, but he's averaging 19 and a half points a game. So you have to say to yourself, okay, do I want him kind of going out the ordinary and maybe not driving to the basket because he wants to show that he can shoot a jump shot, right? Or do I want him to continue to be him? Because my biggest thing with RJ, I'll be so honest with you, I'm not worried about RJ. Because here's the thing: if he's playing well, great. If he's not, we got Josh Hart.
And Thibs
So
has,
you,
and Thibs has shown us that he's RJ
right,
to the
right.
bench.
So my thing for me is this: are we more concerned about stats, or are we more concerned about winning the game? Because what Tibbs has shown, and what I'm totally in favor of, is winning a ball game. So if RJ's got it going, beautiful. But if he's kind of a little shaky in the first half, Josh Hart comes in the game the first quarter. He doesn't come out until halftime.
It's
Right?
true.
So
It's true.
Tibbs has already said, and if Grimes has got it going, then Grimes is in.
Yeah.
So to me, the most important thing is that if he doesn't have it going, we have an easy fix. That's been the biggest thing with most teams. Like if you can't fix the problem and you stuck with this guy, now it's like, oh man, if he's off, man, we're in trouble. But if he's off, all right, no problem. Hey man, cool off a little bit. And guys, also too, pay attention to this. When RJ has been off, he's kind of picked it up maybe like in the third quarter when he's on the second unit, right? He'll start driving the ball, then he'll run off 6 or 8 points in a row. You're like, okay, RJ, this is what we want, right?
Yeah, typical
And
RJ,
then
bro.
he'll step back and he'll hit a three. You'll be like, no, don't do that. No, 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 no. Stay
Yeah.
with what you was doing, right? But check it out. When he does do that, what happened? He gets yanked, right? So Tibbs and Johnny Bryant are paying attention to the rhythm of the game and how the game is going. If you do that, we have pieces that we can put in for certain guys. You know, if Grimes doesn't have it going, we have quickly. If you know, Josh Hart has been super consistent, so I'm really not worried about him because he doesn't play out of his, you know, his lane. He's not up
Hmm.
there trying to drop 40, right? He's just playing in his lane. Everything with him is effort and you know, just you know, loose ball points or whatever. So that's not skill set. That's just effort. So that's what you want from him. So just guys, think about it. Has there been any game this year that RJ has impacted us to where we lost the game because of RJ? That hasn't happened all season.
Uh,
It has
I,
all season has. Could we just think about that time when we could say, "Oh, RJ was the reason we lost"?
I mean, a lot of fans point to him at the end of the
Right,
game, but he's
because
not.
now that's because of expectation. What we want, right? We
Yeah,
want him because he's the number 3 pick. Oh, you should be doing this. You should be doing that. But it's like if he's not really, if what he's doing doesn't impact our losses, then I'm okay with it because this is a team game. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we
yeah,
want to talk about okay, is he a long term solution? That's a different conversation,
for the
right? Then
summer.
we got to
Yeah,
talk about right.
yeah,
Then we got to talk about that. But as far as the team goes within itself, they manage him pretty well. Like they you know, if they see he's off, he's not playing. He doesn't close out games, nothing. You'll be like,
yeah,
oh man, I forgot about RJ. he, he
yeah.
went 1-8 today.
You're so right, man. In years past, it hasn't been like this. We haven't had a bench like we had. We haven't had Quickly. Obviously, he's been amazing all season. Josh Hart has been. You know, these guys have been closing games all season in front of RJ Barrett. So, you know, Thibodeau, he's like, bro, you're not playing well. You're getting yanked. You're sitting on the bench. You're not coming back in, especially during these
And
playoff
right,
games.
and here's the thing, guys. I'm totally okay with that. You know why?
No,
Because I just
I
want
am too. Yeah,
I want the W, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
I want the W. You know what I mean? So, and but pay attention to that because that was the big issue last year. See, you know, even you know, Ian Begley, SNY, they talked about it. Guys felt certain guys weren't being held accountable for their lack of production and things that they were doing. See, that's what's happening with RJ this year because we have people to replace him. So, you know, if he's not playing well, you know, he's got to sit the bench. If Grimes isn't playing well, he's got to sit the bench. If IQ's kind of having a little off night, then he'll kind of give Brunson a little bit more minutes, right? So now you got interchangeable parts. But last season, that was the issue with the stuff that was going on with Randall. People were saying, "Yo, man, you should play Obi, man. This guy is like you just letting him just do whatever he wants to do." And guys didn't, people didn't like that, including myself. So people wanted the same thing that happens to RJ this year. We wanted to happen to Randall last year.
yeah.
And that was the problem, right? So that was the issue. Now guys are being held accountable. If they're not playing well, they're going to put the best player in, and now we're seeing the results. I mean, you know, of course, after December, right when it was 10-14, after he switched to that 9-man rotation, and the Knicks are now fifth in offensive efficiency, seventh in net rating, pretty much saying how they're one of the better teams up there.
It's
Once
crazy,
they
right?
made that switch and they're holding guys accountable, now you're seeing it's running like a well-oiled machine.
That indeed, and it's going to be, you laid those stats out there, and Chris, the Knicks are, a great offensive team. Numbers don't lie, but the Cavs, best defensive team in the NBA. Most of that has to do with Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Isaac Okoro. I'm not scared of their bench at all. We can get them when it comes to if they're subbing guys in and out. Donovan Mitchell and Garland are probably gonna have to play over 40 minutes a game, But bench unit, Chris, it's night and day over the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I think that's gonna be the key.
Yeah, I mean Cleveland just does not have any answer for our bench. It's just, quickly Quickly alone, I think, is just such a big, plus for us. I mean, he's better than anything the Cavs have coming off the bench. And he's just so dynamic. He defends, he plays both sides of the ball. You know, if they can contain him, we got other pieces. Josh Hart, Hart. I mean, it's no contest in my opinion. I mean, Cleveland's bench is just no contest. That's all I can say.
Dame Tooge in the chat says, but RJ misses enough shots to negatively affect the game. No matter if he doesn't close the game, missed threes and free throws we can't afford in any quarter. That's true. RJ Barrett, free throw percentage, obviously he misses a few every game. It's like clockwork with him. And he's going to you don't want RJ Barrett not shooting an open three, right? We don't want him to just change how he's playing. If he's open, shoot the rock. If you're open, Cleveland's going to leave you open. They're going to dare you to shoot it. They're going to leave you open. They're going to want you to beat them. And RJ Barrett, I have faith that he's going to hit, a few big shots, hopefully. Hopefully he can get a couple of going.
I think he's going to play well, man. I mean, I don't think he's going to be RJ, right? I love that question statement that the person just made. But the key is not in the first quarter, second quarter. The key is in the fourth quarter. That's winning time. That's when these guys get their money.
And that's why he's barely out there.
Exactly. There you go. So the coach identifies, okay, he doesn't really have it going tonight. So you know what? I'm going to go with Josh Hart. I'm going to go with Grimes and Quickly, right? That's what we're going to go with. Or sometimes Grimes isn't out there. It's Quickly, Brunson. Josh Hart always closes games. He never comes out, right? And Randall and either Mitch or Hart. Period. End of story. That's what he does game in and game out. He has IQ out there because IQ can defend and IQ can hit free throws. So, we have to look at it like it's a team game, guys. I understand he's here now. Like, he's with us. We can't trade him now and get rid of him. You know what I mean? So we got to get the best we can get out of him. But once again, like I said, what he's done has not impacted us to the point to where we're like, yo, man, we're losing games because of him. Now that's a different conversation. But that hasn't happened.
He is. Sometimes he does make you want to bang your head.
Oh man, no, that's a different statement, man. We all been there with him. Like, what are you doing, right? Like, but what's funny? We're saying that, but so is Tibbs and Johnny Bryant. They like, yo, man, Josh Hart, go get him out now. Yeah. Let him breathe for a little bit. But then RJ will come back in with that second unit, like in the third quarter, and then he'll run off like 6 points. You're like, oh, RJ, that's great, man. Then they'll take him out. Then they'll put Josh Hart in the game, and they'll end out the game. And that's like, I'm like, perfect. You know what I mean? Perfect way to do that.
Yeah. So we were DMing each other, and you said, you were throwing out some topics, and you said the player with the most to prove in this series.
That's easy, man.
I guess I can go to Chris first. Who is the player with the most to prove in this series? On either side, or Knicks side, Cavs side?
It could be whatever. It could be
either side. I want to say Julius Randle. Say Julius Randle just because, we all know the Atlanta series, how they just took him out of that game where, let's be honest, Julius had nobody else to go to. It was just Julius, and the Hawks did what they had to do, and they took him out of the game.
And
I think and Burks, yeah. Shout out to Alec Burks. But yeah, in my opinion, it's Julius Randle. I know he must be just dying to get on that court come playoff time against the Cavs and show that he can get it done when it matters the most. That's where I'm going.
LV, you can go.
Julius Randle. Period. All right, we're not gonna gotta go.
Yeah.
That's just what it is, man. You want to be the all-star, you want to be the guy. That's what it comes down to. Because guys, look, the playoffs, the refs are gonna swallow their whistle.
But you guys are saying, let me cut you off. Sorry to cut you off. But you guys are saying Randall, but knowing that he's compromised right now, he's not 100%. It doesn't matter to you?
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We got to remember where we live, man. This city does not care. We don't. We've seen Willis Reed.
So we don't have no Zion Williamson on our team, right? We don't have no Zion Williamson on our team.
Right? Nah, man. You seen him the other night, right? He looked like he just came back from the burrito spot. Like, no.
Yeah.
No Zion, man. No Zion until he. I mean, come on, man. You know what do you say? Oh,
He was
I feel
windmilling
good.
before the game, and he
No,
couldn't play.
Oh no.
he said I feel good. Um, but you know, I just gotta wait for Zion to be Zion.
Yeah, whatever that means.
I wanted to be there to say, okay, Zion, can you ask Zion what does it take for Zion to be Zion? Since you're talking in third person, like you let us know. Like,
Yeah,
can you ask Zion what? Yeah, I'll talk to Zion about where. Like, dude, like, what do you?
That's
Exactly. See,
crazy.
like that doesn't make it. Like, what are you talking about? Look, we're playing basketball here,
yeah,
dude. Like, come on, we're not.
that's
We're
crazy.
not right, man. So I don't know that situation, but it has to be Randall, even though he's compromised, because the great players know how to rise up, man. If you want to be that guy, that's just what comes with it. That comes with the title. That comes with the crown, man. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and that's the expectation. And every guy knows that when you get an opportunity like this in the playoffs, you've been off for 3 weeks with your ankle, man. You got to come back ready to go. Now, if you're not ready to go, that's something different, right? You know, then we got to chalk it up as that. But if you step on that court, then that's it, man. You got to be ready to lay it all out there, and he has to play better. He just does. You can't be our guy, and you're getting 25 and 10. You've been an All Star 2 out of the last 3 years, and you don't show up when it's money time. That's what matters, man. Period. No one, you don't get paid for the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. You get paid for the fourth quarter in the playoffs. That's when you get your money. And for me, that's what matters. If you want to be that guy, we know Jalen Brunson has done it. We know he's capable of doing it. Donovan Mitchell, of course, we see what he's done, right? So Randall, I think that he's gotta show it. Period. End of story. Because if it comes down, the playoffs is so compact, man. And what I mean by that is the court shrinks and the refs swallow their whistle. So everyone knows the sets that they're running. We all know that. We've played each other how many times? Tibbs has watched all the tapes of every game.
Yeah,
So now you say to yourself, okay, so what is it? Now it's just mano a mano, man. Can you beat this guy one on one? Can you make the right plays with the pill? Can you do that? The great players can. And like Jeff Van Gundy said, you gotta have poise. You gotta be able to come up with those big time moments. Let's say Randall loses the ball. Can he come back down and make the right pass or hit a big shot? Or is his head going to get in the way and he just fumbles away everything?
yeah,
That's just what it is, man. You can't be the guy just for 82 games, but not now. Then that means you're not the guy.
yeah. You see, I want to agree with you guys. I want to say Julius Randle. I think that's probably where I'll lead to, but it's just with this injury. Like I don't want to make excuses, but before the injury, obviously Randall was the easy answer. Like he probably is the easy answer. He has a lot to prove. Knicks fans, including all three of us, we have that Hawk series just ingrained in our head. And although he was great in the regular season, he needs to show up in the playoffs. We need to know if Julius Randle, come playoff time or come crunch time, that we could rely on him. And
Yeah.
where I think we're giving Brunson that pass because he's already shown it last season with the Dallas Mavericks, right? He just has that New York grit to him. He just has that, kill factor to him. And we know Brunson, hopefully, I mean, the playoffs hasn't started yet, but he was in Dallas last season. It could be a whole different story putting on a Knick jersey in the playoffs. But I have faith in Brunson. But yeah, I think I'll go with Randall, man. I can go Randall, Barrett. But because I do know where this is headed. If Barrett has a bad series, I do know this summer that's all we're gonna hear. Like RJ Barrett,
Yeah.
what are the Knicks gonna do with RJ Barrett? Should they trade him for this X player? Randall, we all know Julius Randall has ties in the front office. Leon Rose loves him. Tom Thibodeau adores him. They love this guy. They haven't held him accountable whenever he's taken defensive plays off here or there because he's their guy. So I agree with you guys. I think it is Julius Randle, but I do think RJ Barrett to me has to prove something, man. This season he was supposed to take that step that Emmanuel quickly took this season. Emmanuel quickly took that step that RJ Barrett was supposed to take, and now Emmanuel quickly is going to go to Leon Rose's office this summer and say, "Hey, I want more than RJ Barrett or, similar money to RJ Barrett." So that means the Knicks are possibly going to have what, $400 million players on the roster.
Right, and
So,
especially with that new CBA, man, that they're gonna struggle. They're going to struggle holding on to
Yeah.
guys. It's just, just the cap. They're not going to be able to do it.
Yeah. So, that's I mean, we could talk about that this summer, but yeah, Randall, Barrett, hopefully Randall can, I do think he'll have a good series. Brunson will take that pressure off of him. I just have a confidence, right? Something about, watching Saturday night Knicks Cavs. I just have confidence that we're not going to lay an egg. I just have that confidence as a fan. I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
No, I totally do. That's why I told you. I think this is easy, man. You played the guy 3 out of 4 times, and look how you played against him.
Yeah.
So my thing is, what's the difference? There is no difference. It's just the lights is on. But once again, certain guys may feel it's different because they may say it's the playoffs, and now they're getting in their heads and they get sweaty palms, like I stated. So now they're just not playing the same. You're like, what's wrong with this guy? The pressure's too big for him. He can't handle it, right? So that's where you start to see that. But I feel confident the same way you do. If they come out and play their game, let's just say they play their game, what we know they've been playing as.
Yeah.
Are we nervous at all? No, I'm not. The Knicks, look how solid they've been after they made that change, man. I'm not worried about anything. But once again, if guys are unsure of themselves, they're not like, just if you'll see it when you're watching the game. You're like, why is IQ hesitating? Why is Grimes not sure about his jump shot?
Yeah.
Oh man, this guy can't handle the pressure, man. He's crunching under the pressure, right? Then you'll start to see, and then that's when we'll probably fold up because guys are just having a hard time dealing with that. But if they're not, I'm not. Yeah. I'm not worried at all.
I'm not worried. I mean, Cavs, great team. I don't want to just throw them like, easy series here and there. It's going to be a dogfight, man. It's 6 or 7 either way. I'm picking the Knicks in 7. Not sure what do you got? I guess we could do the predictions now. LV, what do you got?
I got him in 6, man. I got him in 6
in the Garden.
I don't think it goes 7. I think I got him in 6. I mean, I like the Cavs, but it's all matchups, man. We match up really, really well with these guys.
Yeah.
We just do.
Yeah.
They are guard heavy, meaning that they have 2 guards who take majority of the shots. And we are guard heavy with a legit power forward in Julius Randle that no one can check. No, they have no answer for him. And they also have no answer for IQ. So now you have Brunson, you have IQ, you have Josh Hart, and you have Grimes that you could throw out those 2 guards. That's going to, because Donovan Mitchell's going to have to play defense too, right? So he just can't shoot buckets and just come back on defense and relax. Nah, he saw that last game when Brunson almost dropped 50 on him at 48. So he got to play defense. And I know you mentioned Isaac Cora. I heard that too, but I don't know how 100% he's going to be either. He's got a really bad injury. I don't know. They might put him out there, but is he going to be able to handle Brunson for 48 minutes? I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure he's going to be able to stay in front of him, right? So that's everybody's injured at this point in the season. So for me, that's how I look at it, man. But I mean, it's just we just match up well with them. We really, really do. I'm gonna tell you my dark horse though. Who the dark horse is?
Okay. Before we get there, let's get Chris's prediction.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I gotta agree. I also got the Knicks winning in 6. I mean, just when you look at all the advantages, you got, our bench is just gonna overpower Cleveland in my opinion. Cleveland really just goes, like you said, guard heavy. So they go with Garland, they go with Mitchell. If they're not having amazing games, I think it's gonna be hard for them to keep up with the Knicks.
Yeah.
And I also feel like we have the advantage when it comes to coaching. I mean, I know JB Bickerstaff is not, he's not a terrible coach or anything like that, but I think we actually have a coaching advantage with Tibbs. Tibbs is just going to have everybody ready to go, prepared. He's watched every single game this season, last season. He's going to find the little plays that they might, throw at the Knicks that they haven't seen in some time. He's just going to go nuts with it. I think the Knicks overall, this is their series to lose. And that's even considering if Randall doesn't play game 1. I mean, I just think the Knicks overall just have the better, we match up well with them. We've shown in the regular season, which I know some say, yes, it counts. Some say, no, it doesn't. But it's got to count a little bit. Like I said the last time when I mentioned it, it has to count a little bit.
And the first loss we had to them, Donovan Mitchell went crazy in the beginning of the season. That's when
Exactly.
he wanted to prove to the Knicks that you should have traded for me, and he was going bananas.
Exactly my point.
Yeah.
And not to say that Mitchell
Kevin
can't
Love hit like
go
8 threes that game too. They don't even have Kevin Love. Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing too. But I mean, I just think again, it's all going to depend on how Donovan Mitchell is going for the Cavs. But if he's not having a crazy offensive game, I don't see us losing to this Cavs team. Yeah. So I do think it's going to be the Knicks in 6. That's my prediction.
Don't let any Cavs fans come in here. Three Knicks guys picking the Knicks. 3 Knicks guys picking the Knicks. But dark horse.
Completely unbiased.
Yeah. Dark horse. Who you got?
Oh man, I think a dark horse. I'm telling you, man, is going to be Hartenstein. I'm telling you, the way he played last game against those guys, and they say,
versus Cleveland. Oh, yeah. He's looking like Steve Nash out there, bro.
Right, and Allen wasn't there and everything. I'm like, okay, cool. Allen wasn't there, fine. We didn't have Randall. I mean, but in that middle, man, he was blocking shots, he was rebounding, he was making beautiful passes, like you said, looking like Steve Nash.
Yeah,
those things you can't count for, man. You can't put those in the stat, like just those energy points, and how he was getting there, wrestling away rebounds. He gets his face in there, like. Those are winning plays, man, that you just cannot you can't say, okay, we got to watch for his hook shot. We got to watch. No, man, those are things that it's just effort plays. It's like him and Josh Hart are the same player, man, just bigger sizes. And yeah. I think him with that second unit coming in, blocking shots. If let's say the Knicks are down like 5, right? I can see him, Hart and those guys, Chris, like you said, with that bench unit sparking a run. Because of iHeart's energy, with blocking shots, getting rebounds, that like energizes the team when guys start doing stuff like that. And he is the perfect player for that.
Yeah, I do think my dark horse, in my opinion, has to be. I'm gonna go something different. I'm gonna go Mitchell Robinson. I do think Mitchell Robinson has a tall task ahead of him. Cleveland right now is probably game planning to try to get him in foul trouble, right? But, Knicks have Hartenstein coming in off the bench. But Mitchell Robinson, best offensive rebounder in the NBA. He was, a dog during the last game versus the Cavs. They couldn't put a body on him. Obviously, they were missing Allen, but he was all over the place, man. Mitchell Robinson, obviously, he didn't play versus the Hawks series. He broke his, his hand, right?
Yeah.
Broke his hand. So I do think Mitch is going to have a big series, and I do think he is vital for us to succeed in the series, man. His offensive rebounding, his shot blocking, his defense against Allen and Mobley. That's going to be a tough task, and I'm sure the guards, I'm sure Cleveland right now is talking to Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland like, look, get in the paint, get Mitchell Robinson in foul trouble, because once we get Mitchell Robinson in foul trouble. We've seen Mitch, man. It throws him off his game. Once he's in foul trouble, he just isn't the same. And but we need Mitch to stay out of foul trouble, and I do think that he's a dark horse in the series.
No, I agree with you, man. One thing that you said that was great, those offensive rebounds, those second chance points.
Yeah,
that's where the Knicks kill you. That's where we really, really get it. Because if he gets it, he kicks it out to IQ in the corner, or Grimes in the corner, or Obi in the corner for a 3. Bang, that's like a 5-point swing, right? You're like, oh, man. And those are just things that just have pretty much helped us and prevailed us throughout the season. So I do agree with that.
Yeah, Chris, dark horse.
I think Mitch is definitely going to be a dark horse for all the reasons you just listed. I mean, like you said, I could see them going out there and trying to get Mitch in foul trouble. And, in my opinion, I think in this series, even if Mitch does get in foul trouble, I would just tell him, continue to be aggressive, continue to go out there. If you foul out, you foul out. Because, I mean, like you guys said, we have iHeart coming off the bench. Granted, you don't want to be down a man and have to run iHeart out there for the entirety of a game, but this is a Tibbs coach team, and these players are used to playing 40 minutes if they have to. So, in my opinion, I wouldn't even let that be a factor. It's better to have Mitch out there, yes, He gives us that shot blocking presence in the paint. He's able to score it off lobs for us. But I also wouldn't be like, all right, Mitch, you're in foul trouble. Let's sit you down for half the game. No, go out there, be aggressive. If you get in foul trouble, if you foul out, foul out. We'll send in Nyhart, and we continue like that. But I think Mitch is definitely going to be a big key in this matchup, just because the Cleveland bigs are their forces to be reckoned with in the paint as well.
Yeah, Dame 2's in the chat says Mitch will step up, but iHeart can definitely pick up the slack. Look, Isaiah Hartenstein closes games has been closing games over Mitchell Robinson as well, and maybe that led to as to why Mitchell Robinson took to Twitter for a bunch of things. But look, I mean,
but you know what? I think iHeart has kind of motivated Mitch. If you notice, Mitch has been playing a lot harder these last couple of weeks. I think because he has noticed that iHeart has been getting the minutes, closing out games and stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes things like that happen. You got a lot of light a fire on there for guy, right? You kind of get a little comfortable. You kind of think that, all right, I can continue to go through the motions, and then you have a guy closing out games, right? He's kind of getting a little bit more attention from the coaches. So then you say, okay, maybe I need to start rebounding, blocking shots, right? Doing those effort plays. And I think I've been noticing these last couple of games, last couple of weeks, I'll say, Mitch has kind of been stepping it up in that aspect, which is great. So, guys, think about it. We gotta love like how interchangeable we are as a lineup, man. Just think about that. Like,
it's crazy.
Right? I'm being honest, and I don't want to jinx this, but I have to be honest here. Like, I don't see any weak points here. Even if Randall's not 100%. Let's say Randall doesn't play. Look how Obi's been playing.
But do you like that matchup with Obi Toppin? If Obi Toppin starts, let's say Randall is out. If Obi Toppin's starting, do you like that Evan Mobley matchup? Because we brought it up earlier.
No, I don't. And the reason why is because Obi plays smaller than what he is. Right?
Yeah.
He's averaging, I think, like maybe 3 boards a game. He should be averaging at least 7 or 8.
He's like a small forward.
All right, but Josh Hart's averaging more than him. Josh Hart's 6'4". He's averaging 7 boards. You know what I mean? So Obi's about 6'8", 6'9". Like he's got to hit the glass. I mean, he's got to do that. But Mobley's different, man. He can stretch out, right? He's long too. He's not like he plays big. He uses his length, and he's a tough check. He really, really is, because you got to play defense too on him, and that's something Obi's got to get better with. But once again, even if that does happen, do I feel the Knicks would get blown out? No. Do I feel like we could lose the series? No. I still feel like we could push it to 7. Does that maybe give the Cavs the edge? Absolutely. But the way these guys have been playing with the confidence level, I don't know, man. I'm just not too worried. I think these guys are going to come out, and like I said, it's interchangeable. And a person that people hate that I kind of get on is Deuce, right? I think Deuce has got to shoot better. But let's just say he says, you know what? Garland's kind of giving us a hard time. Deuce, just give almost 5 minutes. I want you baseline to baseline. Just kind of get on his nerves.
Yeah.
We could do that.
But I don't think Dez will do that.
No, I know. I agree. What I'm saying is that's why I feel so comfortable.
We got so many luxuries, man.
Right. There you go. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what gives me confidence too. I mean, I don't want to be overly confident, and
right.
Cleveland just comes out, freaking smacks us. But
right.
I'm
guys. Do you think we get swept? Do we get swept?
No.
Do we win one game?
If we win more than one game,
win more.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be way better than the Hawks series.
Yeah, way better. I don't see this ending in 5 at all, either side. Right. 6 or 7. Nixon. I mean, Game 7 in Cleveland, that's going to be tough, which is why, hopefully the Knicks can get it done in 6. But if you're on the Cleveland side, what do you think they're talking about? What do you think that some of the matchups they can take advantage of? Obviously they have Mitchell, Garland, small backcourt, and Okoro. Okoro's probably, like you said, going to be compromised. But, I think Brunson will probably go after him every possession. See how that knee reacts, right? Just test him a little bit. Yeah. And then obviously Mobley and Allen. Allen's been banged up here, but I think he's good to go. So if you're on Cleveland side, where are your advantages that you can try to take advantage of? Is it RJ Barrett? Are you trying to go after RJ Barrett on the defensive end? Are you going after Brunson? Like what are you trying to do?
Yeah, I think if I'm the Cavs, I mean, something that I've talked about before. I think the Cavs are going to try to go after a Jalen Brunson. I mean, at
Yeah.
times the Knicks try to hide him defensively on like, but what you've been seeing at least towards the end of the season is guys are trying to go right at Jalen Brunson. They're switching. They're trying to get somebody bigger on him, and they're either taking him to the rim or they're just trying to shoot over him. But you've been seeing a lot of that. And in my opinion, I think that's what they're going to end up trying to do. And I also think they're going to try to take advantage and test the Knicks 3-point defense because we've also seen
Yeah.
towards the end of the season,
Don't remind
it's
me.
been a shootout. Teams have, whether they're good 3-point shooting teams or not, for whatever reason, teams have come in and they've just lights out shooting wide open threes. For whatever reason, the Knicks haven't been able to get out and contest. I think the Cavs are going to, test the Knicks in that regard, even though the Cavs are not really a great 3-point shooting team. But again, we've had teams that are even worse come in and shoot lights out. So I think that's some of the things they might try.
Yeah, you made some good points. What do you think the Cavs are going to do, LV?
Well, I think a big factor for them, we already know about Garland, we already know about Mitchell, but I think it's Karis LeVert and Chetty Osman. I mean, those guys can knock it down. I mean, LeVert can light it up. I mean, he really, really can.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they're going to really look to really kind of have. That's like going to be like their IQ coming off the bench. I think he's going to come downhill. I think he's going to be attacking. And if RJ's not on his A game defensively, he's going to cook RJ big time. And then, you have a guy like I said, Chetty, Osman coming off. He can knock down that trade ball, right? I mean, that's what he did to the Knicks last time.
Yeah.
So, you have guys when they're on their game, they can fill it up. Defensively, they're a little shaky, but I'm talking about LeVert and Osman, but those guys can really fill it up, man, offensively. And I think that we focus on Mitchell, we focus on Garland, but those guys can really put the ball in the basket. And if LeVert is on, it's going to be a long night. So we're going to have to match them, right? So that's the key. And then also, too, same way we said about, what we would do at Okoro, they're going to do that to Randall. They're going to want to see, Mobley's going to want to attack him and see exactly what Randall is.
Yeah.
See, can he have good lateral movement? Is he going to be able to kind of, defend off the bounce? Can he do that? And if he can't, it's going to be a long night. And if also, too, defensively, they're going to get up in his chest. Can he make quick sudden moves to the basket, or is he going to be outside shooting jumpers all day? And if he does that, then he's got to sit down because we don't need him to do that. We really don't. We need him to be random. And I think that's what you have a person like Mobley there to do that. And if he's shooting jumpers all day, that makes it especially for a guy that's up for Defensive Player of the Year, right? That makes his job easy. Because then he could roam, he can come off with weak side blocks, he could do it all because Randall's compromised. So those are things for me that I'm looking for in regards to them. If they have that going, then we're gonna need Brunson to really fill it up because LeVert is tough, man. LeVert is tough. I remember him in
LeVert in check this season, but the past couple of months he has been playing well for them. And,
man.
He's been playing, amazing for them. So, but we've held him in check. But yeah, if it's, are you concerned about the? I keep going back to Randall, but it's like, I do think that he's the key, man. I'm just hoping we get some good news here in the next 48 hours, right, regarding his injury.
Hey man, you want my honest opinion, man? I think they're playing games.
You think they're playing games with us?
I think he's ready, man. I think he's ready. I think he's ready. I think he's ready. Listen,
there hasn't been no video in practice. They haven't spoken to him.
We're not going to make the same mistake Zion did doing windmills, after he done just had a triple cheeseburger and he's still playing. They're not going to make that mistake. Right? He talk about he waiting for Zion to be Zion, but he doing windmills right before the game. And it's like, dude, we need you. You doing windmills.
Well, that was absolutely crazy. He was doing literally
insane,
windmills,
man.
Saying he doesn't feel
doing windmills, can't help the team.
Yeah. And listen, everybody was saying like that was a bad look, man. You don't say that, and then out here you're doing like, you know what I mean? He's not been like, they didn't approve like contact drills for him yet, so he's coming out just doing like it just looks bad. So I think the Knicks are keeping it quiet because they don't want Cleveland to know. I think my opinion. I think he's been running, man. I think he's been running, and I think he's been working on it. Remember, guys, this is the league. He's getting around the clock treatment. They understand who he is and what he is to this team.
Yeah.
When he came down that ankle, the day before, they were on it because they understand we got 3 weeks before the playoffs start.
It's been 3 weeks, right? It's been 3 weeks.
Yeah, this week makes it 3 weeks.
Yeah.
This week makes it 3 weeks that happened.
And they haven't told us what kind of sprain it is. And
well, they said it's not a high ankle, which is huge. It's
the worst.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not that right. It's worse, right? So that's not that. So that's why I think this is all speculation. Nobody quote LV, right? I think he's probably been doing stuff. I think he's been kind of running on his own. I think he's been doing some drills here and there. They have leaked out. Okay, he's been doing some drills, whatever. I think they're just keeping it hush because they don't want Cleveland to know. They don't want to plan for it. They want to just to ease out. And I think just within him, there's no way he's going to let this rock because he knows he's got a lot to prove.
Yeah.
And I think his ego and who he is just as a ball player, I think he's going to push through. But I think he's been ready, man. I think he's been ready. I think they've had him doing stuff on the low. But remember, guys, he's getting around-the-clock treatment, man. Yeah. They're doing everything to get his ankle ready. He's not just going home chilling, playing with his son and his wife and just put his foot up with ice. No. He's at the training center. They're giving him all types of treatment to make sure that he's ready to go. So I'm not.
Yeah,
this is the NBA. This is the NBA. They got the best of the best guys.
There's a part of me that think the Knicks are playing with us. They're playing games.
That's
they're playing.
There's
a part of me, but it's just the whole practice non-contact. Maybe Thibodeau. What was it? 2 days ago he had a little smirk when he was talking about Randall. Right. He was like, "Oh, when's game one? Saturday?" And then he smirked a little bit.
Jalen Brunson did the same thing about a week ago when they asked him. They said, "You talked to Randall? Like, how's Randall doing?" And he was like, "Yeah, he put his head down and shook his head and was smiling and was like, nah, he's all right. He's fine." Because he almost let the cat out the bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I think. He almost slipped up and said, man, he's going to be good to go. Like, come on, man. He was out of the walking boot walking. If your ankle was bad, you're not out of the
he was at the game, Yeah.
He was at the game too. Like, so if his ankle is bad like that, he's not going to be on the sideline. He's not going to do that.
Yeah.
He's not going to be out of the boot. Like, and he's walking around. People saying gingerly. That's all. I think this all staged, man. And it's all speculation.
We don't know.
I think he's ready to go. And remember, guys, he's played like the whole season, so maybe he needed this time to rest.
Oh, he definitely needed it. With everything that was going on with him, the arguing with Quickly, although in the past couple of weeks the NBA has turned into freaking hell on fire. A bunch of players arguing with one another. So Julius Randle's looking like a saint out here. But it happens, man. It happens, bro. People get upset.
Yeah,
punching people in the chest and things. But I do think Randle should be good to go. But if not, we Obi Toppin step up, man. We got guys step up. Obi Toppin will just slide in there and it should be fun, man. Anything you guys want to talk about before we head on out here?
I think. Remember, Randle learned from Kobe, man. You understand?
Yeah,
so
part of that Mamba tree.
Right. So that is instilled in him, and that's why he plays the games the way he does. He doesn't take days off.
Yeah,
because he learned that from Kobe. And I think in a lot of ways, his mannerisms and stuff is very, very Kobe-like.
Yeah.
He may not be a very likable guy, right? Because he's so focused on the goal. And that's how Kobe was. Very similar mindset and outlook on things. So if he does have that Mamba mentality thing, like what Kobe taught him, because he was like a little Kobe protege when he was with the Lakers when he first got drafted there, I guarantee you he's going to be ready to go Saturday night. And he's going to be locked in. I don't think he's going to let this opportunity slip him by.
Get me excited over here, bro.
Right. So I'm just being honest
right now.
I'm just being honest. So rest in peace to the Mamba.
Yeah.
But if he was alive, he would not let the Lakers go out there without him because it's the playoffs. Like, he knows and he understood that's what this is about. Period. This is about championships. This ain't about nothing else. We ain't playing for second place here, right? So if Randle has that, which I think he does, I think he's locked and loaded, ready to go Saturday.
Yeah,
I hope so, man. I hope so. Chris, any final words?
No, I agree. I mean, you got me pumped right now. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get this series going. But
I can't wait, man.
I think the same. I just, I was a little nervous when we started this. I was saying, when you told me, 70% that he won't play game one, because
Yeah,
I came in with the attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I came in with the attitude that, even if Julius can only give you 90%, 85%, there's no way he's not stepping on that court. And man, I'm just pumped now. I think we're gonna be all right. I'm ready to go.
I'm just throwing it out there to you guys. With who he is, right? Well, we know somewhat of him. We don't know him personally, but just his attitude and the way he is, right? Do you see him taking the way out and saying, I couldn't go because my ankle. If I was out there, I would try. Does he?
No, I don't see Randall like that.
Right.
No.
He doesn't strike me as that type of guy. Some players, yeah. And right, and one of them is in New Orleans, right?
Maybe the Knicks hold him out, but not Randall. But I don't think the Knicks would even do that. It's the playoffs. If your star player is telling you, I'm good, put me out there, I'm ready, you got to put him out there. And the luxury.
Especially with Thibodeau, right? Thibodeau's mentality, right?
Yeah. And the luxury, the Knicks have 2 days off in between games 1 and 2. So Randall gives you 25, 30 minutes, 2 days off, rest that ankle. Game 2 happens, and you have another 2 days off after game 2. So, he's gonna have some time here. If the ankle, if he if it acts up during the games, he's gonna have some time to heal it. So it's gonna be fun, man. I'm excited. Saturday night in Cleveland, 6 p.m. It's going to be fun.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see him come out with the Kobe high tops. Remember those joints, the Mambas? I wouldn't be surprised you see him come out with toes. I'm like, he locked. He ready.
Oh, man. He's ready.
Especially if he brings the braids back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's ready. I think he's ready. I think he's good to go. I mean, I came on the stream thinking it was a 70% chance that he wasn't going to play, but I do think as time goes on, the Knicks are just playing games here. They don't want Cleveland to.
That's just my opinion. They're not gonna let Cleveland know what's going on.
Yeah.
He's come on. I mean, him and JB are 1A 1B, man. You know what I mean? Like, this is not like Obi Toppin talking about his ankle. This is our all-star.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like he was like, he's out of the walking boot. So he's walking. So that tells me, when I saw that, I said, okay, he's probably running. Now they're not going to tell you
and
that.
You saw the shoes that he was wearing? It wasn't.
He had on low dunks, man.
It wasn't like ankle safe proof shoes or whatever you want to call it. Like low dunks.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if he's doing like baseline to baseline running.
Well, I think they said he was running, right?
That's what I'm saying. So now they said this week he was running. That means last week.
Yeah, he's probably been running. Yeah.
Right. Now once again, I'm not saying
speculation.
He's running,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's running doing a Zion, right? Windmills and stuff. I'm not saying he's doing that in between cheeseburgers. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that he's probably like running, doing baseline to baseline stuff, running, pulling up for jump shots, running back, pulling up for jump shots, doing layups, things like. I think he probably was doing that last week, man.
Yeah. As soon as he got that boot off, maybe he started to do that. But couple of days off here, so hopefully we can get it going. Hopefully Knicks are probably traveling to Cleveland tomorrow, right? And then we got shoot around.
Yeah, they're probably traveling to Cleveland probably tomorrow. Or believe it or not, if it's playoff tips the way I think, to get their mind right, they probably left tonight.
True.
Yeah, get there.
And then they practice. They can practice in Cleveland
to get settled. You know what I'm saying? To get settled, get your ticket stuff together with your family, get settled. Get in the rhythm, get in the mindset for the game. Whoop-de-whoop. Be there tomorrow. Run through, walk through. Saturday's game time. Prime time too, 6 o'clock.
I'm so happy they put it at 6, not at the Nets time at 1 o'clock. That would have been awful. But
I had a feeling they was going to probably do maybe Sunday, because I know the playoffs start Saturday and Sunday. I thought they were going to do it Sunday at like 1 o'clock, because it's vintage. They do that with the Knicks, right?
Yeah. But So it's Sunday at 6, and then it's all prime time. It's Knicks Cavs. Everyone's hyped about this series. TNT won at the game, which is why I think they have 2 days off. They have the Tuesday game on TNT. So you got them on TNT, and then they have another 2 days off, and then I think it's on ABC on Friday night, 8:30
Friday night in New York City.
in New
Yo,
York
man,
City.
I'm not going. I wanted to go, but I said, nah, man, they might take my chain. I don't want, you know what I mean?
I'm going to game 4, so I'm excited.
Oh, you going Sunday? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going Sunday. I'm excited for
That's a smart move. Friday's going to be off, especially if we win. Oh, man.
It's gonna be carnage. Oh my god, it's gonna be chaos out there.
I can't wait to see the videos.
They're gonna be all over the place. There's gonna be some guy with his shirt off, throwing his hair around like this in the middle of the city. You know, like, come on.
I gotta capture all that. I gotta get all that if that happens. But it should be exciting, man. Knicks, Cavs. I got the Knicks at 7. LV got the Knicks at 6. Chris got the Knicks in 6. Should be fun. Cavs fans, don't come at us, please. It's just that we believe in the Knicks, and we think we could take it, man. Knicks are a great team. They've been playing well all season. 3-1 against the Cleveland Cavaliers this season, and you know, a lot of people say obviously the playoffs are a different animal. I agree with that, but you know, Knicks are probably looking over all 4 of those games that they played Cleveland, and they're trying to pick at.
I wanted this matchup more than anything because I feel like, you know, the Knicks probably feel more confident playing these guys because they beat them, and also to the matchups, right? I think, let's say if the Knicks were playing someone like the Bucks or like the Sixers, I would be worried because I'd be like, we have nobody for Embiid, we have nobody for the Greek Freak. Then I'd be like, oh man, this could go.
If the Knicks advance, we get the Bucks
right
next round.
Right, but I'm saying for the first round, like that's why I was happy because I'm like, so I think the players kind of feel probably the same type of deal, right? They're probably excited, probably motivated, you know, because they realize like, wow, we beat these guys, you know, we could definitely go in there and, you know what I mean, light it up and stuff like that. But I think, do
you think taking game 1 is very vital for this series?
We have to get game 1 because now, because then the pressure switches back to them.
Yeah.
Yep. They could lose game 2 and be okay, but you have, when you're the away team, you got to get that first game. You got to split. You can't come back to New York down 0-2. That cannot happen. Because then the pressure is going to be like, oh man. Now I believe we'll win game 3.
Yeah, I do.
But then we got to win another one.
I think we'll split in Cleveland. I do think we'll split in Cleveland.
Right.
Whether it's game 1, the thing is, if Randall's out game 1 and you know Knicks go down 0-1 and then he comes back for game 2, you know maybe he's feeling pressure a little bit. And
if Randall's out game 1, let's just say, I think he might be out, man. I don't think he's going to come back. You know what I mean? Like he may try to. That means he ain't ready to go. If he's out game 1,
I think if he's out game 1, he's not coming back till they get in New York again. That gives him an extra week.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. I would see that too. But then, talking about pressure, man, he's going to have. Oh man, we thought the pressure was serious before.
Yeah.
Because just people, man. I mean, they're going to speculate. They're going to say, oh, he's not tough. You know, he couldn't fight through, and he was off for 3 weeks. You know, it's the playoffs. You know, and I don't think that's fair.
We're gonna hear it though.
But that's the city we live in. If he was in OKC or any other place, he wouldn't have heard that. But in this city, oh, forget about it. They would. Oh man, they're gonna. And I think he knows that. I think he knows that, and I think that's why I think he's gonna be ready game 1. Because he understands what the expectation is when heavy is the head that wears the crown, man.
Yeah, that indeed. But this was fun, guys. Probably gonna wrap it up here. Appreciate you, LV, for joining. I will make sure you subscribe to him. I'll have all his information in the bio. So, Chris, it's been fun. Saturday is going down. I'll be back Saturday for the post game and doing all that stuff. So, guys, man, have a good night. It's always let's go Knicks, and let's get it going, man. Playoffs, man.
Absolutely. Playoffs. Peace, fellas.
Go.
Peace, man.
Peace.